Hi and welcome along to AFTV. Some breaking news, transfer news here today, and it's all about Amadou Onana of Everton, heavily linked with a move to Arsenal. A journalist, Sacha Tavaleri, is saying, and he seems to specialise on players from Belgium, and of course Amadou Onana is from Belgium. He's saying that talks are currently intensifying and ongoing between Everton and Arsenal for Amadou Onana. The Belgian midfielder, who has always put his priority to stay in the Premier League, is keen on a move. Things could develop quickly. It's been reported all over social media at the moment about Amadou Onana. We know that he's been linked with a move to Arsenal since the start of this transfer window. And following the defeat yesterday against Liverpool, I think a lot of Arsenal fans would like to hear some positive transfer news. Not the striker that we're all looking for, but Cecil, a link with Amadou Onana, of course, a defensive midfielder who plays for Everton. Good player, strong, tall, rangy. Funny enough, a player that Arsenal were trying to, they were looking at signing before he went to Everton, passed up on him. Now it's looking like if they are going to get him, they're talking around about £50 million. What do you think?
It's a lot of money, but he is a good player, Rob. I liked Amadou Onana. I remember we lost Everton 1-0 and he bossed that midfield. The only thing with me, I think he is a bit inconsistent, but physical, good on the ball, drives with it well, can break up play. For me as well, I understand them looking at a defensive midfielder at Arsenal. I spoke about this before about Thomas Partey's injury record. It's ridiculous. And I always have to be consistent with myself. Being available is the best ability. Availability is the best ability, and Thomas Partey hasn't been available. And I feel like this signing, listen, it's not Thomas Partey level quality, but I don't think it's too far off, especially when you've got Declan Rice in there. And I do like this link. I mean, the last Belgian midfielder we had was Lokonga that they were looking at, and that didn't really work out. And I want to highlight that because that was one of Mikel Arteta's decisions and choices. But I feel like this one can fit. I think he would fit into Arsenal well. It's like you mentioned, though, it's not the striker that everyone's fantasising over. I don't think we are going to get a striker in this window. You're Mr. Transfer Daily. I'm sure you're going to be doing many videos on links to strikers, but this one seems, of all the ones I've heard, this one for some reason seems more realistic.
Well, with Everton at the moment, you know, they're struggling, financially. We know that they've got the 10-point deduction. Much as they wouldn't want to sell him, they may take it. My question is this exactly what we need? You are right. We've got that long-term injury at the moment to Thomas Partey. Who knows when he's going to come back? I mean, he's not gone to the AFCON with Ghana. There was talk, around that his injury is the worst he's suffered in his career, which is what I heard, the Ghana coach say, and that he has to take his time and come back. He's said to be starting to train and getting near to coming back. I don't know about this one. I mean, I'm still not sure. Amadou Onana in January for 50 million. If we've got 50 million to spend, I still think that should be going on a striker or maybe something towards that. I know the difficulties this month is finding that striker, and I sort of spoke about it. We did a show earlier on, the Bias Premier League show, and I was sort of talking on there the fact that, for instance, people will link us with a Dominic Solanke, good player.
Not the answer.
But it's not just about signing a striker from now till the end of the season. It's signing a striker that's going to do well for us from now till the end of the season, but then over the next couple of years. And to me, that's Victor Osimhen. He's got a release clause of £112 million, and
how do you hit
probably you wouldn't be able to shift him away in January, but that's what Arsenal should be aiming at. But then maybe, listen, we are going to need to replace Thomas Partey as
100%. Well, this is the thing that Arsenal should have looked at. Even now, it's funny, Jesus, I know we're all looking at strikers, but his injury record's also been poor as well. So the club should be notified of all this, and I think they are trying to look ahead. But is it a sword that, again, Arteta might have to die on? Because I know the fan base will be saying, why are we not getting a striker? But I actually think he's actually putting out a fire that should have been addressed in the summer window by looking at a defensive midfielder. I just don't know if it works out, if it doesn't. We look at Jorginho in January last season. That was supposed to be a stopgap. We then extended his contract. So you're right there when you say a Dominic Solanke. Is he going to get us over the line? I don't think so, but it's not a thought just for now. It's also, I think, long-term as well.
And I was looking at this on the social media today, which was from John Cross from The Mirror, who said that unless Arsenal cash in on Emile Smith-Rowe or Eddie Nketiah, by June 30, then there is no room to sign a striker or even a midfielder, and that they will have to wait until the summer. I think they meant by the end of January, 30th of January. But
that's on Arteta. Havertz 65 million. David Raya, I know the full money hasn't been paid. That's we haven't got enough money to play with now. And you're right. I mean, Eddie, the club have openly said that they're happy to sell him. I don't know what club takes him. Emile Smith Rowe.
Well, no. That's the problem. Is that there are clubs that want to take Eddie Nketiah, but the problem is that Arsenal can't afford to sell Eddie Nketiah right now because there'll be a striker light.
It's true.
And then they can't.
Aren't they asking for 40 million?
As I said,
the
strike. Well, probably around about 30 million. But the thing is, if you sell Eddie Nketiah, you need to buy another striker. And if you haven't got another striker to buy, then there's no point in selling Eddie Nketiah right now.
Yeah.
Emile Smith Rowe's situation is very, very interesting. Is he going to stay? I mean, again, yesterday used sparingly. Is he fully recovered from his injury? Yeah. Mikel Arteta said last week that Emile Smith Rowe is part of their plans from now till the end of the season. Definitely, he's going to play a big role. If we're bringing in Andre Onana, sorry, I keep saying Andre Onana, Amadou Onana.
Yeah, let's not get Andre.
Not Andre Onana. If you're bringing in like an Amadou Onana, what does that do for Smith Rowe's chances? Because then that means you move in Declan Rice a bit further forward and you're having him as the hold-in. It's going to be really, really interesting to see, but that is the news that is all over social media today, linking Arsenal with a move for Amadou Onana of Everton. Price would be anything from around about £50 million.
I think that's
plus,
a fair price.
There's going to be a lot of money, but he is a very, very good player, still very, very young as well, and he's got Premier League now under his belt, so he'd be able to jump right in, and certainly that'd be a very strong midfield.
100%.
Like Onana,
Rice, and Odegaard.
Yeah, that'd be a great midfield. But
is
that what we need right now? I want to put it out there to you guys, because I thought, for instance, Jorginho looked good yesterday.
He did.
In that game against Liverpool. I think he could fill in there from now till the end of the season and then go big for that striker at the end of the season. But listen, these are the rumours that are flying around social media right now. So I want to get your opinion on it. Should Arsenal go and get Amadou Onana this transfer window?
Yes.
Would it be a good signing? Cecil's saying yes, he would like that. Or is it just keep the money back and try and get a striker, right? And if you are thinking that, who is that striker? That's what we want to know from you. But once again, the breaking news today is Arsenal in talks, according to a load of the rumours that are out there, with Amadou Onana of Everton, with the hope of trying to bring him in this January transfer window. Don't forget, check out Transfer Daily today. Done a really good show. We spoke a lot about strikers and Ivan Toney, who, by the way, has kind of made it clear now that he's not going to be moving from Brentford this January transfer window. So make sure you check out Transfer Daily today and every day. And of course, we'll keep you up to date with all breaking news around transfers here at Arsenal.